Okay, my YouTube family, how's it been going? So, as you know, I haven't really been posting many videos on car repairs lately. That's due to because the E60's up for sale. I'm waiting for another car to come in. We've got the M54 to be doing, but as you guys know, I've been doing the garage. And obviously this is a video just to show you what's been going on. And obviously we're going to be doing a video on what tools you need to buy a BMW. But obviously I just wanted to show you guys what I've been up to in the days coming up. And obviously as you can see there, we've had the lights fitted today to the garage. All the lights are fitted up here as well. It's kind of bright in here, as you guys can probably see on the camera. You can probably see everything here, but it's not very bright. So what we're going to be doing is installing another one here, go along the middle, and we're also going to be installing another one down here. For all the tools laid out, we're getting there now. I've got other things to go on the wall still that I've got to do. You know, things are going up, things are getting done. As you'll see here, the plug socket's now up as well, which is connected onto the bench. I've got another one going up, which is going to run all the way up and over and then back down here. So we're going to have another plug socket there for when the cars are in. I can then plug up power supply. Obviously, I'm quite fortunate because, as you guys probably ain't aware, my neighbour next door, he's an electrician. So all of this has been done by him on the cheap because he's my neighbour for over a year and then we're very friendly. So he did it all for me. And he's going to be doing it all for me here again, so I don't have to pay no one, he don't have to go nowhere, I don't have to bother ringing anyone. Whatever I need doing in the garage he does. He's going to be putting heating in for me as well, so I'm going to have all the heating in here, system running on electric, so it's going to be a heated garage as well, so we can work in here in peace, do the live streams, be able to do everything without having to worry. So obviously while that's been going on, I've ordered some parts for the E60. Yes, I know you guys are going to say, what, when I'm meant to be selling it? But I ordered these parts these parts I wanted to order when I first got the car. But obviously because the MOT was short, one of the parts I couldn't put on because it failed MOT. The other part was a modification to the car, which really transforms the car and the looks. And I've been dying to do it. And realistically, as you guys know, I didn't really want to be part of my E60. So I'm just going to do these modifications anyway. I think it's good for the channel, good for the car. Anyone who comes and views the channel after they bought the E60 can then see what I've done to it. And it's not that, we've got a few other things we're going to be doing to the E60 before it goes as well. I mean, it is up for sale now. It was on the auction and I had Messrs come and bid on it, so I couldn't bother with that. Put it on a buy it now. If it don't sell, it don't sell. We'll go and buy another car anyway, and I'll keep the E60. I'm not really bothered, as you guys know, I love that car. So we're going to be focusing on the E60 for now until it goes. I'm just going to be putting my videos of it. And that's really it. We're just going to carry on doing what we were doing before. I'm not going to let it bother me. I'm not going to think I'm selling it. Just focus on doing videos of it. And then when it sells, we got another car. That's how we're going to look at it. But today I'm going to be showing you what tools you need, because it's a question I keep getting asked on the live streams and a lot of videos. What tools does someone need to look after a BMW, run a BMW and fix their BMW? And as you guys know, I've got hundreds of tools up there, but I don't really show you guys what tools I use, what tools are my best ones, what tools I recommend for BMW. I've got hundreds up there and you guys only see me probably use hundreds, but I'm going to recommend you the best tools I use and why I use them ones, and I'm going to show you the best tools to use when owning a BMW and why they're the actual best tools and why I prefer to use them, because how they benefit me. So what we're going to do is I'm going to turn around, we're going to go to the workbench, and obviously I'm just going to show you what tools I use to fix all the cars and why I use them and why they're the best ones you can use for fixing a BMW. Okay guys, so the first tool I always get asked about when using on my videos is sockets and ratchets. So ratchets, the ones I always get asked about the most are these. Now as you know, these are extendable ratchets and they are very good for BMW because, as you know, like with the Vanos solenoids, the bolts are very hard to get to with the slam panel on. So these have got a swivel head as well as they're extendable. So to get to the Vanos solenoid bolts, which are 10mm, you could use this very easily and get to them with ease. And they're solid ratchets. So these are really good. Now the next one I use is my 1/4 inch one, which is this one right here. And this one's a swivel head and extendable as well, as you guys will see here. Just open it up for you. As you'll see right there, it's extendable. So at the end of the day, if you need it to be extended, it can be. And obviously the next one is this other big extendable. Now this one I like to use for, as you guys have seen, for when I'm doing tensioners and the pulleys on the drive belts. This is very good because it's extendable again and it goes long, so you don't have to worry about bending down or getting in there. You just retract it, get in there with the swivel head, and that's it, job done. Very good tools, I do recommend them. People say you need to have expensive tools when owning a BMW. No, that's not the case at all. The next one I would recommend having is all the sockets. Now, as you can see here, I've got 1/4 inch sockets. That's because most bolts on BM are all 1/4 inch, 10, 11, 13 mil sockets. So I'd recommend having all of them because most BMWs require all of them. The next thing will be all your Torx sockets, because as you know, BMW has a lot of Torx. So make sure you've got a lot of them, especially Torx 25 and Torx 30. You come across many of them bolts on a BMW. Obviously, I've got impact sockets there for my impact guns, so you guys are aware of that. Pry bars. Pry bars is another thing you need to have with BMW. Everything seizes, everything's a pig to get off. Most BMWs, when you get them, they've never had anything removed and they're just a complete pig to get anything off the car. The next thing, if you own an M52 engine, you will know torque. Torque wrenches are a must with the M52 engine. You know, everything on the M52 engine has to be torqued correctly. Every valve cover bolt, everything on them has to be torqued. Otherwise you'll snap the aluminum bolts. So it's always good to have a set of torque wrenches. Now I just use basic, I don't even know the price because these were sent to me by Draper, but I think this one, it was £65 and this one's £40, and the other one is I think £40 as well. Nothing expensive. They're a very good company. Draper in the UK are very known for their tools. Their tools are like a must. They were supplying the garages before even Snap-on in the UK here. Draper's been around for many years, donkey's years as I can remember. But they're great to have. They're very well calibrated and I've had no issue since using them. I've been using them since, well, even before I started the channel. The next thing you're going to want to have is all your spanners, your adjustable spanners, as I've got up here. These are all adjustable ones, these are normal ones. Now as you can see, I've got all my adjustables here. Now most of the time the adjustable ones come in handy when you're trying to tighten something with a socket or on a ratchet, and also you need a spanner to tighten the bolt up as well. So they come in quite handy on BMW, and especially when you want them to release stuff and you can't get to it. And of course these as well, as you can see here, have the flexi head as well, so they're very easy to get to. The next thing are these little picks. Now as you can know, BMW has a lot of O-rings on a PCV system, connectors that you can't get to. Now these picks will help you pull the connector out, and so these are very good to have. They come in very handy all the time. You're gonna need them at some point, trust me. I don't even know how I live without these. So these are a must if you own a BMW, these tools right here, because as I say, these, you need them. Like the picks itself, they come in so handy, especially when you're doing PCV and you need to take the seals off, if the seals are perished or you can't get something out. These picks help with everything you need. The next thing you're going to need is this. Now I prefer to use this. This is for the only M52 engines. This is an oil filter removal tool. Now you don't need to only have that one. There is other ones, but this locks onto the oil filter housing itself and releases it. It's very simple. So it only costs about £5 for it, but it works a treat. It does the job and it gets the oil filter housing removed. If you have the M54 on the other hand, you'll be needing the other one, which is, I'm just getting it now, which is this one right here. You will need this one if you've got the M54 engine. Now as you can see, this is a 36mm socket and it releases the oil filter housing quite very easily. That's all you need to release the oil filter housing on an M54, is that socket right there. The next thing you're going to need is this. Now, as you guys probably don't know, this is what you put. As you know, BMW jacking points always break when you jack up a car of any trying to jack, trolley jack. This you sit on the jack. Most of you probably would have seen this somewhere or in another video. This is made by X8R in the UK. This goes into the jacking point itself, the jacking seal, and pushes the car up without damaging it. It's a rubber and it's very strong rubber. I mean, I've used it hundreds of times and not had a problem with using it on BMW. The next one you're going to need, now it's not a must but I prefer to use it, is your big Makita impact. Now I'll tell you why that is with this gun. When you get a BMW or any car, most hub nuts, axle nuts are all impacted on from factory and then torqued up. When they seize up, they can be a nightmare to get off, the same as the hubs, the nut rings around them. This thing will take them off with no problem, and to take your wheels on and off, this will help you. This is one tool now I can't be without. Obviously, as you guys know, Nathan had it. He told me to get it. Since I've been using it, I wouldn't be without it. This thing removes the bolts like anything. I mean, this thing will tear down London Bridge if I really wanted it to with no issues. I mean, I'll go to London Bridge and unbolt every bolt on that bridge with this gun and know it will take it down with no issues. So that's another one you need. Another one I advise you to get is the impact. Now, as you can see, that's the impact gun for the Makita. I've only just recently started using it. Now, everyone in the US swears by these. You know, a lot of the YouTubers are using impact guns for releasing bolts and things like that. But as you guys know me, I don't really use impact guns that much. I am very old school, and here where I worked in a lot of garages, as I've always said to people like Nathan, that if I ever got caught using an impact gun in a garage, they would throw me out quicker than I could even think and not even pay me. You are not allowed to use impact guns in a garage on any kind of car. You do it manually with a hand, and that's what I mean. There's certain things you can use that for and certain things you can't. You know, some people will whip the bolts off with it but then put them back with it as well. Now me, on the other hand, I don't mind taking the bolts off with that, but to put them back on, I'd rather do it by hand because I know the feel and I know the torque. I don't want to over torque them and I don't want them to be over tight. You know, so you have to think of it like that. I'm quite old school like that. I've never used one really, and I've got it, but I mostly use it as a drill driver, that's it. Impact socket remover, no, I wouldn't use it for that at all. The next one, I think here, which I completely forgot, is these little things right here. These little pickup tools, this is a must with any BMW. These things have saved me a lot of time, money, expense with bolts, because as you guys know, it's very, very easy when working on a BM to drop the nuts or anything. Now, the only problem with that is aluminium, these won't pick up. Metal, these will pick up, that's the only problem. But if you drop one of your sockets in the engine bay or anything like that, these will grab the tool with no problems. Now, as you guys are aware, I've got all US Pro stuff all over the place, and mainly that's because, as I said, when I first started YouTube, these guys sent me so much stuff. They even sent me, as you'll probably see here as well, this tool chest, which is right here as well. They sent me all that. They've sent me quite a lot of stuff. The next thing I'm going to say to you, which is very good for BMW, is a digital torque adapter set. Now, as you know, I've got my torque wrenches, but I've also got a digital one, because you just never know when you're going to need it, and it is more reliable because if that comes out of calibration, I can then use a digital one. Now, again, this was sent to me when I started YouTube. Never had no problem need to use it because my other torque wrenches are fine, but it's good to have it. Again, I've got that. The next sort of tools you're going to need is this right here. Now this, you guys probably are not aware what this is, but this is a must for any BMW owner. And I'll tell you, especially in the US, you guys need to have this. And when I open it, you'll know why. Oh, let's open it better. As you see here, I don't know if you guys are aware, this is a panel and trim remover. As you can see here, they're all plastic. There's a whole kit of them, and it removes all the rivet clips from the door cards. Instead of pulling them off and breaking them off and then not managing to seat the door card back on properly, these are a must for BMW. As you know, the window regulators fail, and most things fail. Sometimes you have to get to the speaker, sometimes you have to get to the door lock, especially on the X5 where the handles break all the time, the door card's coming off constantly. Anyone with an E53, this is a must. Door trim removers is a complete must, and I'll tell anyone who owns BMWs to get these. You will not, I don't know how anyone can live without these, trust me. Every time I remove the door card, I always regretted not having these. These help so much, and even removing trim, interior trim, things like that, radios, things like that, these are a must. They don't damage the interior, they don't damage nothing. As I'm always saying to you guys, if you want to do the job, do it properly, do it first time right, don't damage anything, don't cut, because obviously you guys come a lot of moaning saying you've done this, you've done that. If you use the right tools in the first place and use the right parts, as I always tell you, use BMW genuine parts, not cheap Chinese parts, you would have no problems. This is the problem. A lot of you guys come to me moaning saying, you got this problem, you got that problem. I always say this, in the UK, we hardly get any of the problems you guys get there in the US. That's because here in the UK, we do not skimp out on parts on BMWs. We do not try and go cheap because we see a cheaper part than a BMW part. It doesn't work like that. We know what we're getting ourselves into when we get a BMW. You're not gonna buy a 60, 70,000 pound car and expect to run it like a cheap Chevy or Ford like we get here. You can't expect that. The car will fail you. It's as very simple as. You've got to respect the car or it won't respect you. It's very simple as. That's a true saying, you know. And if you want the car to respect you, you respect it back. It doesn't deserve cheap parts, you know. And maybe if you are getting a BMW, don't know what you're getting yourself in for. I'm here to tell you you're getting yourself in for a lot of work and a lot of money. BMW is not a cheap car to maintain, and I repeat that all the time. It is not a cheap car to maintain by any means, and I completely and honestly mean that. BMW is probably one of the most expensive cars you can maintain, but they are good cars and reliable cars if you maintain them right. By putting cheap parts on them, you end up having basically a Ford engine, because what you're doing is making it run the reliability of a Ford, because it's going to fail. It's not an if, it's a when. That's what's going to happen, and it's going to fail with using Chinese parts. The best way to avoid your car failing is use always genuine BMW. I am not there to promote the dealers, no, but BMW's parts are built for them cars only. And that's the way I see it, and I'm always in agreement with that, and I will never stop saying that. I don't believe in buying cheap parts for these cars, and I'm completely against cheap parts. And like I said, if anyone don't like that, then they shouldn't be subscribed to me, because I will always will be against cheap parts on BMW. I'm not in favor of cheap parts for any kind of luxury car like this Mercedes, anything. No, I've got things against them for kind of cheap part, because you can't buy a luxury car and expect to maintain it for half the price. It just doesn't work. So guys, as you've seen the main tools I've showed you. There isn't really much else I can really show you on the tools realistically. Like I said, you just need a basic set like this. You don't need nothing extravagant. You just need basic tools, basic sockets, basic ratchets. I mean, I've got a load of stuff. People would say to me, why have I got all this? I've got all this as well because, as I've told you previously, I do a lot of other cars out of YouTube. A lot of other different cars, a lot of cars that don't relate to the channel. I do all different things. That's why I've got all different tools for different things. Like you guys were asking why I've got so many liquids up there as well. I use G Fuel EA Coma for the coolant, which is blue, but I've also got red. You also know I've got Prestone, which is Prestone antifreeze up there. That's because, as I said, I do a lot of different cars. And as I do a lot of different cars, I need to have all different kinds of coolant. I do Fords, I do Vauxhalls, I do Saab, BMW, Mercedes, do them all. It's just a matter of fact that I have to store all the parts in case whatever I comes here. Now, as you guys know, and you're not aware, when the garage is done, this is going to be open for business. So anyone in the UK can come here, get their car updated, get their car repaired. The garage will be open for business. So it means I will be taking business bookings out of YouTube as well to come to here to have their car done, have their car updated, have their car coded, or whatever is needed to be done. So that's another thing. I wanted to let you guys know now that that's a thing that's going to be coming up. So if anyone does want to come here and has problems with their cars, can't diagnose it, doesn't want to buy the software, doesn't want to risk buying it, and obviously if you're in the UK as well, I can do a collection service of your car. That's not going to be an issue as well. I'm looking to purchase a recovery truck myself, so we will be doing things like that. And obviously, providing you guys pay the parts, I won't charge you through the nose for labour, and we'll fix your car and it will be on the channel as well, showing people how to repair that. So it will make great content for me, and it will also make your car quite famous. So that's it, guys. I haven't really got much else to do. As I said to you, I've got parts coming for the E60. We're going to be doing quite a few little bits on that before it sells. As I said to you, I know I'm selling it, but I'm just like that anyway. I'm going to be doing other parts to it. It should increase the value. If it does, it does. But I'm just mostly doing it for the channel, and then whoever buys this car, I can tell them to go look on the channel and see what I've done to it and see all the work I've done to it. But I'm not going to stop with the C60 because, as you know, this car means a lot to me. So for me to even be selling it is very hard for me, and that's why I wanted to go to the right owner. And I'm trying to do as much as I can for it, so the new owner will be very happy with it, but like I am, because I'm very happy with this car. And like I say, I don't need to sell it. I could go and buy another car tomorrow for the channel if I really wanted to, but I'm choosing not to, because it doesn't make sense to have all them cars out there. I don't get to drive them, as you guys know. I'm always filming for you guys, making videos for you guys, on the repairs and think I hardly get to drive the cars. If you realise how much I've driven and or gone anywhere since I've been doing YouTube, you'd be surprised, because I focus all my time and energy to YouTube and devote my time to YouTube and making videos for you guys, instead of going out and galling around in the cars. All I do with the cars is drive it now and again, and that's about it. And that's what I mean. That's why I can't have that many cars. I have no need. But that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. This is BMW Dr. Dean here. Thank you for watching. Please give this a thumbs up. As you know, I've got a lot of trolls at the moment. I've got a big troll problem. So it would help if you can give this video a thumbs up after watching it. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.